Good day. Get a good look at our Undercounter sink. It actually looks pretty good with the granite, I think. Of course, I like dark granite, but moving past that, looking at it from here, you probably don't see anything that's really off. However, it won't take much when I zoom in here for you to realize that this is not just not good. This has got to be a health violation somewhere. So when this countertop was put in, they glued it on the bottom to attach it, and they used caulking from a giant caulking gun, just a silicone garbage, I think. Definitely not anti-mold, and you can see this has turned into a fungus from hell, and I've got to remove it. It's got to go. It is unhealthy. It's not as challenging as you might think. So let's show you what tools you'll need, how much it will cost, and how long it will take. Here are the tools and the items I'm going to use. The first thing I'm going to do is scrape it out. Now, normally I would just use my razor blade that I have in a little plastic holder I use for scraping paint off windows and things, but I seem to have misplaced that, so I actually went out and bought this specialized tool. It's a little 9-in-1 tool. But anything sharp that has a good handle on it will do. These two blades are just for cleanup in case I need something better than the big husky on the left. The wire brush, I'm not sure if I'm going to use at all. And after I cut out as much of it as I can, I'm going to use silicone and caulk remover. And then I'll go back and I will cut it out and rip out as much as I can again. Then I will move on to the thick bleach, also known as bleach gel. There's a lot of names for this, a lot of brands. Whatever you have is fine. Just make sure it's thick because you want it to sit in there and soak. You want it to just chew on anything that's left in the gap. And I've got the isopropyl alcohol here just as a cautionary tale. Do not use this in combination with the bleach. I'll explain in just a few minutes why. And just before I use this mono silicone max, which is molded mildew, awesome stuff, I'm going to take, you could use a hair dryer, but I'm going to use my heat gun to dry out anything that's left in this channel. Okay, so let's get to it right now. Take your blade of whatever description and try to cut out as much of this as you can with the blade. Just literally tear it out. So what we want to be careful to do is not to get too far back in there and rip out the glue that's holding the sink in place. But all of this caulking has to go. It just has to. So what I'm doing with this is I'm pulling along the top, and you might think, well, why is it coming off? It should be stuck to the bottom. Yeah, it isn't. This is really, really crappy caulking, and it didn't stick to the stainless steel very well. So it's coming off about 1,000 times easier than I anticipated, and easier than actually, this is the easiest I've ever seen silicone come off. Yeah, it's a little worse at the back here. Yeah, okay, well, not a surprise. You want to make sure your basket is in to make sure that the silicone doesn't go down your drain. If it does, well, it's not, you can tell it's been here for a lot of years. It's basically, you know, like a rubber. It's not going to decompose, but it's going to plug your sink. So you want to make sure that that is protected. That is absolutely disgusting. It's important that you not scratch your stainless steel. So the best thing to use here is a plastic putty knife to sort of get off the last little bits, but I don't have one of those handy, so I'm going to just try to get out what I can with this blade and with these blades. There are a lot of different brands for this. I chose Liftoff, but I think they're all going to be pretty much equivalent. So another thing you can do is, apparently I believe it's isopropyl alcohol and vinegar. If you mix that together, it'll do roughly the same thing. I've tried that in the past and it hasn't worked very well. So for me, I just spent the, I think it's $8 on this, and let's see how it goes. Super gross. You know that there's bacteria in there that's harming your family. Yeah. That's just disgusting. This is a sort of a thick gel. I probably used about 1/4 of the bottle on this right now, and you can see it's running down. It's just fine. It's safe for both the granite and the stainless steel. In this product's case, it says to let it sit, I believe it says 3 minutes. Yeah, let it sit 3 minutes. And then agitate it with a plastic scraper. Basically, try to scrape it out with something that's not going to damage the surfaces. All right, I should note that this product in particular, and I think most of these products, not good for acrylic tubs. So they will scar your acrylic tubs. And I just noticed there's a little note in here saying on anything, don't let it sit for more than 5 minutes. So don't think, I'll let it sit for an hour and then I'll figure it out. As I said, I don't have a plastic scraper, so I'm going to put a soft edge on my hard blade using this old cloth. And I'm just going to scrape along and see what I can get off. And it's actually coming off pretty good. Wow, that's actually... Okay, so I've used cleaners before, these caulking removers, silicone removers, and yeah, this one's really doing a good job. I'm shocked. Now, the last time I did this was a few years ago on anything really, so maybe they're all better now, but that is impressive. It's just coming off. What isn't goo seems to have lost its bond and just popped right off. And just another little note, this product from Liftoff has a citrusy kind of smell to it, which is a surprise. I thought it would be a more toxic smell. I mean, it's definitely not the prettiest smell in the world, but it's not as bad as I expected it to be. And I'm just doing this to make sure that the silicone cleaner, the silicone Liftoff caulk remover, doesn't sit on my stainless for too long. That's really what this is about. So I'm just gonna scrub it off with a little bit of elbow grease and okay, and I'll just use the dry part of the cloth to dry this off a bit. And then I'm gonna go around with the spray again. Let it sit for 3 minutes. I'll speed this up so you don't have to wait. All right, that's 3 minutes. Something I should have pointed out at the start is I'm not using gloves. This is a biodegradable product. It's safe for your pipes. You want to be sure that you're not getting this goop on your hands and then touching soft things like your eyes or just water-based. Now, yeah, so there's two different kinds of silicone and caulk removers. There's the kind that actually chews the silicone and caulk. It just eats it. That's one way to go. This is the other kind. This actually breaks the molecular bond, is what it says here. And what it means is just that. It's actually just breaking the bond between the silicone and whatever it's connected to, which is how you end up with a big long string of crap like this. After I've scraped and muscled this stuff out, I take the scrubbing bubbles or whatever thick gel, thick bleach. So you can look for bleach gel or look for thick bleach. And what's actually in it is kind of irrelevant. It's just a thickened bleach. And what it lets you do is you can squirt it in and let it sit inside, and the bleach and the nasty chemicals in here will kill whatever's left. And I'm just going to let that bleach sit in here for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to flush it out with water. Now, normally with a job like this, I would use something like alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, denaturalized alcohol. And by the way, what that is it's just pure alcohol, but it's got a flavor put into it so that it is untenable for humans. So you don't have drunks buying it as cheap booze and killing themselves with such strong booze. Anyway, normally what I would do is I would take this isopropyl alcohol and I would squish it in here. And the reason is the alcohol will do three things. One, it'll help kill anything that's still in there. Secondly, it will force out some of the water that's in there, because you obviously don't want to seal water in there. And thirdly, it will dry because, it's alcohol. Now, if I've done a good job with this cloth of getting all of the bleach out of here, I could do that. But bleach and alcohol combine to make some horrible chemical, I believe it's chloroform. So yeah, you do not want to put these two anywhere near each other as far as, applying them goes. So if I've done a good job with this, I could use the alcohol, but yeah, chloroform's a terrifying sort of thing. So I'm going to go with a big fat no on that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight to the dryer. So I'll take a thin cloth and I'll just try to squish it in there to get rid of whatever I can, but that's not going to be very much. Just get rid of some of the heavy stuff. Yeah, I can see there's still goo in here, and that's got to be completely dry when you're siliconing this, or you're just going to end up with more problems. So what I'm going to do is use my heat gun. Now, the problem with the heat gun is it's hot, right? It's much hotter than a hairdryer, and you don't want to loosen up the bonds that are holding this sink that's glued onto this granite counter. So you don't want to do too much. You don't want to sit there and kill it, but I do want to make it nice and toasty, and I want to dry that out. And I can see as I go around, even just with this, that the little drops of water are being pushed out. And yeah, I don't know whether you can see that. All the way along here I can see that just the hairdryer action is pushing water out. And of course, that's just the blower, but of course the hot air is also helping. Okay, I've let that sit for about 5 minutes, and I'm going to go around one last time with the heat gun. Okay, so I've gone around this a couple more times for a total of probably 6 times, and I don't see any more water when I get my head down and look in the crevice. I've used a flashlight to check it there as well. I also don't see any water blowing out when I go along here with the heat gun. So that's a good thing. Now, you need to let this cool off before you put the silicone on. And the reason is, you don't want, the simple reason is the expansion and contraction. The metal is going to be warm, and the granite, it's a much thicker item, so it's probably not going to be as hot. Yeah, so I can feel here, my granite's still quite cool. This is warm, and you don't want expansion and contraction forces, especially while the silicone is curing. Okay, so as I think I mentioned earlier, you want to make sure that you're using a very high quality caulk. Now in my case, I'm using clear. It's debatable as to what you should use here. I worked with a designer a few years ago, a commercial designer, not residential stuff, and he was a fan of using black caulking because that's pretty much where this stuff always ends up. So he just said, I don't care if you're putting it on glass, always use black. Okay, it makes sense to me, but I'm going to use clear, and if I have to cut this out again in 5 years, then I got to cut it out again in 5 years. If you haven't used caulking before, you can use a gun. Big gun works fine. It's just difficult to get in and around here. So the suggestion I have is to use one of these little hand squeeze tubes. Take a sharp blade and you just slice it off. I'm going to go like that. There we go. So I've got a nice smooth edge. Sometimes you have to unscrew the lid and break a seal. Oh, you do in this case too. All right, there you go. Put that aside for the moment. Put the applicator back on. Now this is a very small tube, but it will do this entire run. If you've worked with silicone before, unless you use it a lot, you're best just to buy the more expensive, smaller unit like this, because it'll probably sit there for a good long time before you'll use it again, at which time you will want to get a fresh one. So, all right, so let's just start. You want to start in a less conspicuous place in case you're getting it screwed up. Now, don't be too worried about it being a bit messy, because we're going to run along this in a little bit with our finger, and we're going to smooth it out. So you don't have to be too concerned about it. There we go. So I probably used a little over 2/3 of that. And this is an expensive one, so I can just screw it down. When I say expensive, this tube is like $6. It's not expensive. Okay, now what you need to do is get your finger wet. Do not do this with a dry finger, it won't work. And what you have to do is just put your finger on it and squish it around. And you'll end up with, well, if all goes well, you'll end up with a buildup. That's okay. Just take a Kleenex and get rid of it. Well, I'm going to use my cloth and go around and get the excess that's on the top and the bottom. Another way to avoid having that problem, and one that I recommended in the past, is to use tape. You can just use painter's tape and put it around before you put the silicone out and then pull this off. However, that might leave a slight ridge, and I don't want to have even the slightest ridge here. I really want it to be smooth. Now when you're done, like we are here, you want to go around and just look for any gaps or any bumps that you might have missed. Without a doubt, that is not my best silicone job, but it's pretty good. And I am happy enough with it. All right, so now let's go take a look at our sink. That's what was there. Pretty gross. That's what's there now. Not bad, huh? And just give it a few hours to cure. You're going to have to read the bottle that you are using. When I say the bottle, you're going to have to read the package that you're using to see how long it is. In a lot of the cases, it's 20 minutes or half an hour. I certainly wouldn't use this sink with water for probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 hours, regardless of what it says. I want that stuff to cure solid. We do get a lot of questions about this tap as well. So this tap was one that was sourced at Costco, and I'll put a link in the top right-hand corner telling you how to install it. It's a great little pull down. It's wireless, right? Just runs on batteries. The batteries last about a year, so not a big deal. It never fails. It's just so good. So while I've got you here, I'll put the link up there. Maybe you're interested in that as well. It's an excellent faucet. I'm very happy with it. Hey, please click like and subscribe if if this is the kind of thing you're interested in. We spend a lot of time doing these sort of home improvement things. We also spend, mostly the company is tech-based, so we spend a lot of time on Windows, on Azure, on Office 365, on Android. But likes and subscribe are what tell Google that this is a quality video, and it really helps us with the Google algorithm when you click those things for us. And leave a comment below. And you can always get a hold of us at www.urtech.ca. That's www.urtech.ca. Thanks and have a great day. Bye-bye.